sorry. Work
Hello. Yes. Yes, I'm able to join the meeting. Yeah? Oh, கொஞ்சம் ஏதோ நம்பர் தப்பா இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேங்க. பாருங்க. Oh. ஓஹோ. ஏன்னா இந்த 646464ன்றது கொஞ்சம் கன்ஃபியூசிங்கா இருக்கு. அந்த நம்பர் கொஞ்சம் தப்பாயிட்டா. ஓகே. மீட்டிங் வந்து 64464466666 அது. அது கொஞ்சம் நம்பர் தப்பா எடுத்தனா கூட வரல. நான் முதல்ல போட்டப்போ அப்படிதான் ஆச்சு எனக்கு. ஓ ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே.
Hello.
I'm not able to get connection.
Was 2015 when Modi met Musk for the first time in California. That's not media factory.
I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for his support and doing something in the multiple future. It's will be a significant investment.
Welcome, Madam Mangai. Welcome. You are not audible. Sorry. Sumi?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, shall we start? Your voice கேட்கலையே. என்னோட கேட்கிறதா?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Since it's our president is not able to, I'm unable to connect to him. So I think whenever. Pardon? கேக்குறதா? Meenakshi?
கேக்குது.
Okay. Welcome you all to today's program. We'll start with Tamil Thai Vaazhtai. We will all sing ourselves. So, நீராறும் கடலும் திகழ்பரத கண்டமிழில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடன திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ்மணத்த இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரி இளமை திறமையன் செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துமே வாழ்த்துதுமே. Physician's prayer and IMA prayer by Dr. Jnana Meenakshi, our WDW secretary from IMA Tnsb.
You're not audible, Dr. Jnana Meenakshi. She's not audible.
Yeah, she'll be.
Ma'am, you're not able to hear you.
Meenakshi, you are not audible, Kanna.
Ma'am, can you demote and come back again?
Can you hear me?
Now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, you have to come forward, ma'am. I think that our position is a little. Yes, ma'am.
Can't hear anything.
Shall I read the prayer then?
Yep.
Audible, Illa Raja. So I'll read the IMA prayer. Shall I read, Kanna? May everybody be happy. May everybody be healthy. May everybody be free from pain. May everybody be free from sorrow. May we be the healing cure beyond every greed and lure. Physician's prayer. Dear Lord, thou great physician, I kneel before thee. Since every good and perfect gift must come from thee, I pray, give skill to my hands, clear vision to my mind, kindness and sympathy to my heart, give singleness of purpose, strength to lift at least a part of the burden of my suffering fellow men, and a true realization of the rare privilege that is mine. Take from my heart all guile and worldliness, that with the simple faith of a child I rely on thee. This is then my address, welcome address. Welcome you all for today's program. Today is the International Yoga Day. Our president is yet to come. Respected president and secretary is also not yet come. Our branch, IMA Chennai South branch president, Dr. Rukmani Gopal, secretary, Dr. Kanakavel, treasurer, Dr. Mangai Saravanan, and our women doctors wing chairperson, Dr. Sambat Kumari, our WDW secretary, Dr. Jnana Meenakshi, state secretary Jnana Meenakshi, Dr. Sumitra, our cultural secretary, who is the brain behind this today's program, and our esteemed members. Welcome you all again. And today's International Yoga Day. This is observed on 21st of June every year. This day celebrates the ancient, physically, mental and spiritual practice of physical, mental and spiritual practice of yoga. It also aims to promote the various benefits of practicing yoga. In 2014, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi proposed the idea of observing this day during his address to the 69th session of the UN General Assembly, and it was sponsored by large number of nations. International Yoga Day was first observed in 2015 and is being celebrated in full swing every year since then. This year's theme is Yoga for Vasudhaiva Kudumbam, or Yoga for the welfare of all as one world and one family. This year's theme highlights yoga as a practice that connects and unites everyone. Today, nearly about 180 countries are celebrating yoga, and it has become a global spirit. Lord Shiva was the father of yoga. He is considered to be the Adi Yoga. In modern days, Patanjali is known as the father of modern yoga, and in some parts of India, Tirumalai Krishnamacharya also considered as the father of modern yoga. Yoga has lots of aims, values, and importance. The importance of yoga improves mental health, flexibility, reduces stress, improves quality of life, prevents aches and pains, boosts heart health, strengthens bones and joints, helps maintain healthy body weight, and promotes calmness, help prevent diseases. Today we have amidst us We can talk about yoga for a very long time, but we have passed a paucity of time. Just we request, today we have a renowned curative educator from Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, Madam Padmavati, who is going to de-stress our doctors with her talk and breathing techniques. I'm not going to stand between you and Madam. So thank you all. Happy day. I request Dr. Rukmani Gopal to say a few words.
Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Am I audible? See, I think I'll just make it very short. We know the significance of yoga. Yoga is both science and art, and it's truly a stress buster. I think every child must be taught yoga in school, and it is so important for doctors like us. So it is for the mind. Yoga is actually for the mind, and it is your and the mind which determines the personality. So the person as a whole, it's not your. So that way, yoga, learning yoga, practicing yoga should be our way of life. Thanks for the opportunity. Let us listen to the yoga master now. Thank you all.
Shanta, madam, you're on mute, ma'am.
Sumitra, I was audible?
Yes, ma'am. You were.
Okay. Because some problem here, broadband is not working. So,
Ma'am, Shanta, madam, you are on mute. Please mute your unmute.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Dr. Rukmani, madam. And since the other dignitaries are not here, we will go to the session. Introduction of speaker by Dr. Sumitra Sundaram.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's my honor and privilege to introduce to you all a very senior practitioner and a very good friend of mine who's actually given me the pleasure to join me in the Prana Holistic Center. Ms. Padmavati, I'll have few words about her. Is that when Madam asked me, find somebody who will help us in conducting this International Yoga Day, I couldn't think of anybody more better suitable than Ms. Padmavati. Because today we have been hearing news about how stress had killed about 4 of our doctors recently and different ages, and who had no sign of any other disease. And I thought that should be the first thing, how to de-stress ourselves, whether as a busy practitioner or somebody retired, or as a doctor, we are going through so many emotions, most of the patients who bring it on us, and how to de-stress ourselves and also provide the same knowledge to our family. So I wanted to bring in Ms. Padmavati madam to give us a few sessions and few demonstration of how the breath techniques itself is enough as a start of yoga session. So a little few words about her. She did her curative education, which was an initiative by Dr. Karl Koenig, who's a follower of Rudolf Steiner. And she had returned back to India with a desire to learn traditions and culture and also use the knowledge gained in England, where she had worked with children with special needs. She joined the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram in 1982 and joined the teachers training program. She started the Happy School for children with special needs. This has now transformed into a center for adults with special needs. And over to you, Padmavati madam. It's my privilege and honor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sumitra. I am indeed honored. I hope you can all hear what I'm saying. You do?
Yeah.
I would like to say that from Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, it has been in our culture, in our tradition of the Mandiram, to start with a prayer. So I hope you would forgive me after having invoked Tamil Thai. This is in honor of Sri Patanjali, whom we consider the father or the founder of yoga. So before we go into details of yoga, I would like to start with this prayer. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abhahu purushakaram shankhachakrasidharinam sahasrashirasam shvetam pranamami patanjalim Srimate Anantaya Nagarajaya Namo Namaha. Having invoked Patanjali, it has also been told to us through Desikachar from Krishnamachari that wherever the term yoga is used or yoga is practiced, there sits Patanjali observing what we are doing. So keeping this in mind, invoking Patanjali, I am sure that that spirit is around us to know that we are really sincere in what we are doing. And just as the doctor's prayer or invocation said, there were many things that were, I think, very similar to what yoga also teaches us. And with this, if I may start with a small story where Shiva was doing the Ananda Tandavam in that time called Chidambaram, which may not be the Chidambaram we know of today. Govindaraj or Perumal was sleeping on his Adiseshan and enjoying this scene of Shiva dancing. He was so taken aback that generally Adiseshan's the body does not feel the weight of Perumal. But this particular day, the enjoyment had made Perumal go into a deep, I do not know what, trance with Shiva on dancing, that his body became heavy and Adiseshan was disturbed. And so he asked Perumal, once the whole event was over, what was it that made Perumal so happy that his body became heavy? So Perumal described to Adiseshan the dance of Shiva known as the Ananda Tandavam and described it in such a way that Adiseshan himself was taken aback and said, I would like to go down to earth and see for myself. So Perumal says, you may go down as Patanjali and impart 3 important things to mankind. One is yoga, so that they are free in the mind. One is Ayurveda, so that the body is free. And one is the Sanskrit grammar, so that the speech is also free of any malice or any other impurities. So these 3 things were attributed to Adiseshan, who fell into the hands of some rishi who was saying his prayer early in the morning in the form of the Anjali Mudra. The Anjali Mudra is a mudra where you are having both your hands out, stretched out in front of you with the palms curved so that it looks like a Anjali or a boat or a receiving gesture. And into his hands fell Patanjali in the form of a small fruit and grew into a small baby, and the rishi took him home, cared for him, and he became Patanjali, who gave us yoga, Ayurveda, and the Sanskrit grammar. And although I do not know Sanskrit, nor am I conversant with Hindi, but using the Maheshwara Sutras Aksharam, we were able to use it as speech therapy. So children with special needs who were not able to speak properly, I would not say they gained their speech, but they were a little bit more clearer than what they were. And one of my first, what shall we say, introduction to the therapy of Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram was when my teacher invited me to come and see a student of hers who was polio affected. And she, at that particular day, was able to walk by herself and climb the 3 steps in the Yoga Mandiram in those days. That was my first introduction to yoga as being given as a therapy. I do not know how much time I have, but to cut all these stories short, doctors, you are all a very busy group of people, and to say, please do yoga may or may not be the right way. But yoga also does not say everybody should practice yoga. It also suggests that people who are unable to practice the physical form of yoga can read or listen to tales, stories. So this becomes a sort of a relaxation for them, and the mind is free, and from which one can do whatever one wants to do. So if doctors are not able to spend time practicing yoga, please read whatever books apart from your books, P.G. Woodhouse or R.K. Narayanan, or anybody like that who gives you a little bit of joy, who describes the beauty of the Indian villages, so that you are also transported into that time, which will relax you. By relaxing, then the stress that you have would definitely reduce. I do not know many technical terms how to reduce stress, but the easiest way is probably to listen to stories. And if the elderly doctors are there and happily you say stories to perhaps even your patients, they are also relaxed and you are relaxed in the same way, so that there is a good rapport between the two of you. For those who are able to practice yoga, I would stress to release the stress, to work on your breathing. One small anecdote, perhaps. When I was in England, we were down south of London in a small village. And during our day off, we used to go to the local village. Well, the only thing that was open were the pubs. So we used to sit there, all friends together, and chatter. And on the way back, we had to pass a cemetery. And coming from India, I had not seen a cemetery at all. And this was an old castle with overgrown bushes and many old crosses that depicted the graveyards of people. We had to cross that stretch. And one night, unfortunately, somebody hid behind and hooted, not like an owl, but gave various sounds, which made us very anxious. So we were told that every time there is fear, then automatically our body becomes a little bit shrunk, and the heart region is the region that needs to expand to expel this kind of fear. So I started with Om Namo Narayana, but Om Namo Narayana seemed to be too long. The fear was even more gripping, and Om Namo Narayana was not something that I could very easily say. It was reduced to Rama, 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 and I crossed it, being very happy that a short form of the name of Rama helped me, and Om Namo Narayana was too long, because at the time when stress is there, you are not able to gauge, or you are not able to make your mind say what needs to be said. So Rama was who helped me overcome my fear of crossing that bit of symmetry and go back home safely. Similarly, the kind of stresses that the doctors have, I have got no idea. So to ask you to say Om Namo Narayana or Namah Shivaya is all up to you. But what I would say to reduce stress is to breathe. So you breathe in and you breathe out. If you're able to do that consciously, you breathe in, and instead of breathing out, if you're able to say any name of any Perumal, by Perumal, I mean the whole galaxy of everybody, the exhale becomes longer. And according to Krishnamachari, it is the breathing that gives us strength, and it is the breathing that controls our mind. So the stronger the breath, the stronger the person. So if we are able to exhale for a longer period than inhale, this exhalation will automatically help with the inhalation. If you take persons with asthma, they are only inhaling, and so they have got this great inability to breathe in, because their lungs are full of air anyway. They breathe in and they breathe in and they breathe in, but they forget to breathe out. So if we teach people to breathe out, that is the best form of stress buster. And if you are able to use the name of any Perumal, it helps to build a stronger bond. The exhale becomes easier. And as you progress, you should be able to exhale twice as long as your inhale. Now, Krishnamachari was a yogi who was able to inhale for 10 minutes, not seconds, 10 minutes. And his exhalation went on up to over 20 minutes. So each inhale and exhale was 30 minutes of duration. I, who has practiced yoga since a long time, I don't think my inhalation and exhalation comes to anything more than a minute or a minute and a half maximum. But his was 10 minutes inhalation and 20 minutes exhalation. So wherever you are, in whichever chair you are sitting, if you are able to keep your spine straight and breathe in and breathe out for a few moments, that would calm you down, and that should reduce your stress. Having said that, I open.
This meeting is being recorded.
I open this for questions. If anybody has anything to ask or say.
Hello, madam. So what do you suggest? What age group, like, who are 60s, do they practice? I mean, from when pranayama can be practiced at all ages, no? Even 60s, 70s, 80s, they can practice.
pranayama should be practiced by 60s and 70s, 60 plus.
60 plus.
Yes. It is because 60 plus, we are now entering into a retirement time. Of course, doctors do not have retirement, but the retirement, you are going away from the physical world. And so pranayama is going to help you. And through pranayama, you go into meditation. It is very easy to say meditate, but the foundation of meditation is to be able to sit quietly without being disturbed. And to sit quietly without being disturbed, be it a chair or on the floor with crossed legs, or even to lie down on the bed, the spine needs to be straight. And having done a few breaths, it is very easy then for you to slip into dhyanam or meditation. So 60 plus is a very good age to either start or continue with the practice of yoga.
Ma'am, can you demonstrate us the breathe in and breathe out the twice?
Dr. Sumitra, it is going to be very difficult for me to breathe in and breathe out in front of a screen, because you will not know whether I am breathing in or breathing out. But if you, it is very, very individual. My breath is very different from somebody who has practiced yoga, like Dr. Shanta, perhaps for a longer time. And so her breath would be different. And it would be definitely different from a person who has not practiced pranayama at all. So it is going to be difficult to demonstrate, but with your inhale, if you are able to breathe in, let us say 4 counts, and you should work towards breathing out 8 counts. Inhale is breathing in and exhale is breathing out. And when you are chanting, pardon?
Should we withhold the breathing after inhalation?
Krishnamachari was not a very great advocate of holding of the breath, especially after inhalation. The holding of the breath after exhalation is what he promoted, so that your inhale becomes stronger. And once you are in a good position, only then the holding of the breath after inhalation and exhalation was done. Being new to this group, I do not want to go into great technical details, and for somebody to start practicing things without a teacher. There was a question by somebody who wanted to know what is the age where yoga can start. Krishnamachari has always said yoga can be started as young as 3 years old. 5 years could be the maximum or the minimum age. Generally, a 3-year-old, when they see their parents or somebody practice, they happily sit near them or go on top of them. And so they are used to this kind of exercises that are being done. And even when we sit on a chair and put our young child on our legs and lift the legs up and down, it is our breathing that helps the legs to be lifted up and down. And this breathing then happily is inculcated into the child's breathing. Should inhale and exhale be of equal duration? Different schools will say different things, but our teacher has always said 1:2, 2:1:2, or 1:2:2:2. That is 1 count of inhalation with 2 counts of holding after inhalation, 2 counts of exhalation, and 2 counts of holding after exhalation. So 1:2 2:2. So if you do for 5 minutes inhalation, you are holding for 10 minutes, you are exhaling for 10 minutes, you are holding after exhalation for 10 minutes. I am talking about minutes, just to give an example. Krishnamacharya did it. I cannot do it. If you are able to do, my pranams to all of you.
Any more
Any-
questions, ma'am?
Any other thing other than breathing to de-stress, madam? Any other yoga postures or any what else?
We do not do yoga postures as one posture at a time. It is usually a sequence of postures, so that you are warmed up. Then you go into the main posture that is going to be of use to you. And after having finished the main posture, then you are cooling down, or you have to come away from that and come back to normalhood. So you are preparing for a main posture. You are there in the main posture for some time, and any negative effects of preparation or of the main asana is taken care of by the counter pose. So this is what he advocated: preparation time, the main asana, the goal, and the counter pose to take care of the negativity. Negativity here would be muscles that are used so that they are back to normal, so that you do not, after you get up and do whatever else, is not a hindrance to the person.
Thank you, madam.
So I am sorry there are no 1 or 2 asanas. The best thing would be to breathe in. So if you inhale and you are able to chant Om Namo Narayanaya Namaha, you will notice that the counts are increased. So if you are able to do 12 inhalation and 12 chanting, you will see that your breath is slowly becoming stronger. One could also say Achyutananta Govindaya Namaha, Keshavaya Namaha. You can take any or Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha as individual names to also do it, which increases the power of exhalation. And when exhalation increases, automatically the inhalation has to increase.
I think, madam, we should meet you in person and truly understand the practice of yoga. Because however you may listen, practical knowledge is very much required.
Very true. Yes. And our practical experience in the Yoga Mandiram is one-to-one. It is only,
I know.
it is children whom we say can do it as a group. They learn from each other until they are 14. After they are 14, then it is personalized individual courses that are given to them. From the age of 14, we all have individual courses.
That's the nice thing about
So
Krishnamacharya.
anytime, very true.
Sure, madam. Really, one of these days, I would like to meet you in person and get to know you better. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I am honored. Thank you, everybody. Dr. Sumitra,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. consenting to give us a talk on this International Yoga Day. So I want that awareness to come to us also. Not only that we advise patients to do yoga, I think it's time we start doing the deep breathing. I was
Sumitra.
doing while you were telling the half. I mean, so we managed till 6 counts, 4 and 6, pushing myself to 8. So
Please don't
yes,
push.
just help me to relax. So I'm going to go ahead and do it furthermore.
This is a very important thing. You do 4 to 6, all right, but don't push yourself to do 8.
Okay.
Because the breath is not ready. If you are doing it 6 times, all 6 times should have the same duration. That is what gives the breath more power.
Okay. Yes, that's a good point. Over to you, Shanta, madam.
Thank you very much, madam, for your talk. Dr. Sampath.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Thank you.
I am here. Yes, wonderful talk, Mrs. Today is the yoga day. We had a wonderful talk by Ms. Padmavati. I think most of our doctors would be free from the stress. As Dr. Rukmani Gopal told, we should do it in person. So first of all, I thank our President, Dr. Sindamil Pari, and the guest of honor, Dr. NTR Tyagarajan, the State Secretary, and our own Chennai South President, Dr. Rukmani Gopal. And the speaker, Ms. Padmavati Madam, we think we will have one, Shanta Madam, we will make one program in person.
We'll ask her to come to our
yes, society.
Yeah.
And IMA Chennai South, I thank IMA Chennai South President Dr. Rukmani Gopal, Secretary Dr. Kanagavel, and Treasurer Dr. Mangai Saravanan, and IMA Women's Wing, the backbone of everything, Dr. Shanta Narayanan, Chairperson.
She is the real backbone.
Yes, Dr. Jnana Meenakshi, and Dr. Sumitra, who is took initiative to make this program interesting. And IMA Chennai South Women's Wing Chairperson, me and Dr. Lavanya. Thank you once again, all the delegates who have joined this program and made use of this. Once again, I thank Dr. Shanta Narayanan for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks. Yes.
Thank you, madam.
Thanks, Jnana Meenakshi.
Thank you, madam.
இப்ப வருது பாரு உன்னோட வாய்ஸ்.
Never depend on this internet.
I know.
Internet is... No, but very seems to be very knowledgeable, Shanta, that lady, Padmavati. So we must have a live meeting with her.
Yeah, we'll do it in our branch, madam.
Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you all for your presence. Thanks. Shall we close?
Yes.